Welcome to the Happy, Healthy Life Podcast with your hosts, Rob and Randy, who reveal the truth, the lies, and confusion about health so that you are no longer the victim to mainstream medical dogma and you are the hero to your own happy, healthy story.
Welcome back to the Happy, Healthy Life Podcast with your host, Rob and
Randy. What's up, guys?
So buckle up. So you guys learned it's all about your what?
It's all about your metabolism.
Absolutely. It is a metabolism. So if you don't have a healthy metabolism, it's going to be nearly impossible to lose weight and keep it off. So on this part, you guys are going to learn the tactical action steps, things that you can be doing in order to get your metabolism healing. You guys are learning what to replace a lot of your bad foods with, replace those processed foods with. Today is going to be a continuation so that you guys can be making sure that you are losing that weight fast and keeping it off. And as you learned with metabolism, you're learning that metabolism isn't just how many calories that your body is burning or the efficiency as to how it's burning them. It really is all about your health.
Yeah, it really is all about your health. You don't want to ask, how do I lose weight? You want to ask, how do I heal my metabolism? And so if you've been following us for a while, we talked about cutting out nut and seed oil, eliminating processed food, replacing with the real fats like SCT oil and rendered animal fats, and eating those real foods, avoiding refined sugar and flour. However, some of you have already been doing that and you're still stuck and plateaued. Telltale sign, a sluggish metabolism. So getting a healthy metabolism is the name of the game. If you're pushing that boulder uphill, work with us to help you roll it downhill. Way more fun. So enjoy this episode. I think you're going to love it.
Yep. See you guys soon. This is another myth. You believe that you got to exercise like crazy in order to deserve to be thin.
Yeah, huge myth.
But you know that person who never goes to the gym.
Ever.
In
fact, they're typically the person that's not even eating right. They don't work out and they just get away with everything. And here's the reality, scientifically speaking, it's impossible to lose weight and keep it off consistently with exercise because it takes 3,500 calories burned to lose 1 pound of body fat. Guys, that is a 34-mile walk. That's about 10,000 steps if you count your steps per day for 7 days. Over 70,000 steps you'd have to do to lose 1 pound. Who has time for that?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And a lot of you listening, you're like, listen, not only do I not have time, I don't feel good. I don't have the energy. My knees, my feet, my joints ache. If I was going to walk and exercise that much, I would be miserable. And so you don't have to go to the gym hours a day to be at a great weight. It's not about that. In fact, we're going to talk about that here in a second, about basal metabolic rate and how that plays a role with what you actually do on a daily basis to burn calories. And it's really life-changing because it really sets you free from the guilt of going, man, I've got to exercise more. And when I don't like myself. It's not true. Give yourself a break. You don't have to do that. Exercise is great for your health. Eating great is great for your health. But it doesn't have anything to do with why you're at the weight you're at. That's controlled by something completely different.
How many of you guys have been that person who, and just say yes, that you felt like you had to exercise like crazy just to deserve to be thin? Or maybe you even woke up one morning and went, you know what? I'm going to be so busy today. I'm not going to be able to exercise because I can't exercise today. I'm going to gain weight.
Yep.
And then you're like, and then I'm not happy with myself. Right. So if you've been there, say yes. we got
Yeah,
you.
lots of yeses here for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Or does it? Yeah. So let's answer some of these questions. The more yeses, right? You know what? This sounds like you, and you've said, hey, I work out and it's still hard to lose weight, or it's hard for me to find the time to work out. It's hard for me to work out because of could be my lower back pain, my knee pain, my arthritis, the issues that I have with my feet because I don't have any energy, whatever the reason is. If you've ever said that before, or you say that, you know what, I don't have the energy. I just said, don't have the energy to work out. You can fill in the blanks there. Or if I don't lose this weight, I'm not going to be able to do the activities later on down the road. Do any of those sound like you? Say yes if any of those things right there sound like you. All right.
This is the perfect example.
Yeah. So Kendra, you and you met with her.
Well, and yeah, I did actually. I met Kendra years ago, and in fact, Kendra came to us super frustrated because this is exactly was her story. Is she was the workout warrior. In fact, you can see her in her before picture. She's out in the wilderness. She lives out in the country. She loves to hike and run and exercise cross country, work out warrior, hours and hours a day. She loved to work out, yet with all that working out, she could not budge with her weight. So you can imagine the level of frustration. A lot of you are saying, yes, that's me too, because I work out all the time and I can't budge. Hopefully this is making sense now. So Kendra, by the way, look at her results in just 5 weeks, 25 pounds. It looks like she lost 50 because most of the weight loss was the body fat around the belly, the love handles, the back, the arms, the hips, the thighs, all the areas you don't want to retain that weight. You can see her. She looks incredible. And now she still loves to exercise, but now she's doing it in a completely different mindset because she's not exercising to lose weight because that wasn't her problem. She's exercising because she loves how it makes her feel. It reduces stress, kicks out endorphins. So let's get really healthy with how we think about exercise and don't beat yourself up. Exercise is not the problem. It's really more about how you're burning the calories, which is why today is going to tie this up nice and pretty for you because you don't have to feel that guilt anymore.
And as I was getting up this morning and journaling, and one of the things that I was talking about and making sure that, as we want to make sure that we get the best information to y'all, and as I was praying about it, and one of the things that came to me is a lot of things that I used to even think before and things that I would even say to myself. Yeah. Words are powerful. And that's why we're even going through this, because everything all comes back to what it is that you think. If you don't change the way you think or your thoughts, you can't change your actions, right? And if you can't change your actions, you're never going to get the results that you want. That's why we talk about this so much. But like a lot of people that may say, for example, you know what, I'm scared to do something, right? Well, if you say I am scared, that makes you a scared person. That right there is forever, right? That's because that's your identity. Versus say I'm feeling scared. If you're feeling in that moment, that thing, that right there is temporary. So if you say something like, I am hungry, if you're that person, my sister is that person, says, I'm hungry all the time. She's like, she always says I'm hangry, right? And so the thing is, if you say, I am hungry, that gets you believing that you're always hungry, and you're training your brain to tell yourself that I am a hungry person. That's something that goes with you forever, versus saying, I'm a healthy person who makes good, wise decisions when it comes to their health. That right there can be your identity, but it's something that you just got to start training yourself and catching yourself when you hear yourself saying those identifying statements, right? Or I'm starving. Do you guys understand what starving even means? That's like starving means that no nutrients leading to death. You're not actually starving, and we'll prove it to you in just a minute. But you may be feeling hungry at that moment, which is temporary, but it's not something that you're going to take with you forever. So sorry, I had to digress just a little bit, but I felt like we had to get that out there.
No, that's important. Mindset is really key. So thank you for elaborating. We're going to go deeper into that as well, because I think that's really the key for a lot of us is we got to stop negotiating with that voice that's telling us all the fear and all the things that you can't do it, you can't change, it's keeping you in the stall pattern. So we got to stop negotiating with that voice. And you know what that voice is. It is not looking out for your best interest. Get back control of what you want, lay it out, write it out. That is how you get to determine your life. Don't let that negative voice be the determining factor.
Yeah. So the next question that people ask us, well, maybe it runs in my family. What's my joke?
Nobody runs in your family.
Which is actually true. So I think if it's true, I don't know that it's a joke. Yeah. Okay.
Now they know that exercise doesn't determine that. The joke isn't quite as funny for my brain, but yes, it is kind of funny.
Yeah. Okay. So is it your genetics? We've all been taught that. And so here's the thing. It's like, what in the world qualifies two guys to be helping people to lose weight, right? Mm-hmm. And here's what qualifies us to be able to do this, because this is something that I lived with my entire life, okay? And we ask ourselves, is it my genetics? And I ask that because I watched my mom struggle with her weight from the time I was very young. I don't know if you guys have parents. Anybody have parents here that you watch struggle with their weight? I watched my mom struggle with her weight, okay? And so that's the elephant in the room, right? So the elephant in the room is how can you guys really help me? So,
right. Well, so the elephant in the room is, yeah, how can you help us? But what we're saying is, guys, like a lot of you're thinking this, a lot of you ladies are thinking, well, you guys just, you just cut out sodas and just go walk 5 miles a day and you're already losing weight. So how is it going to help me? And that is the elephant in the room, ladies, because it is going to help you. And we're going to talk about that now. But we want to bring that up because what we're going to teach you works not only for guys, it works for the ladies. In fact, y'all are our demographic, and we're not just working with a bunch of 16-year-old genetically elite men or women. You are the exact person that we help.
Yeah, because if you remember the photo that I showed you guys yesterday, when I was 13 years old, I was 210 pounds. I was already struggling, but I thought I was supposed to because I watched my mom struggle. So my mom was that person that was always chronically on a diet. I can remember every Monday morning, she was starting her new diet and she would post it up on the refrigerator as if that may have been her accountability partner. I have no idea why she did that, but it'd be like the boiled egg diet, the cabbage diet, the Hollywood juice diet thing that I think she bought like at 3 a.m. in the morning on that infomercial.
Don't ever buy anything at 3 a.m. in the morning.
No, lean cuisines, slim fast, you name it. She was doing all those things. And so I learned all of the beliefs that I had when it came to losing weight from her because she was always on a diet. She was always exercising like crazy. And as soon as she stopped those things, she gained the weight back. I can even remember back in the day, this is going to date myself because she'd gain a little bit of weight and she'd be like, oh no. And then I'd literally have to help her to zip up the zipper on her Gloria Vanderbilt jeans, right? So I can remember her laying on the bed and I had like a pair of pliers to think, you ladies, if you're my age, I'm 51, you know what I'm talking about because people used to have to pour themselves in those jeans. But I remember that because she would lose a little bit of weight, gain it back, lose it, gain it, lose it, gain it. And so here's the thing is as I've grown in helping people, that's my passion and my purpose is to be able to empower people with the tools that they need to be happy and healthy. I don't want to see anybody ever struggle like that. I don't want anybody to have to go through that because, she'd look at herself in the mirror and be like, you know what, I really don't like this person, or I don't like the way I look. And she was always wanting to get back to the weight that she was on her wedding day. And I asked her a few years ago, I'm like, why do you have a picture of yourself from the day that you got married? My parents are divorced. Why in the world would she have that photo up? Why? Because she used it or was using it as her motivation to get back to, because she only weighed 95 pounds when they had gotten married. And so she was using that as motivation, but here's what she didn't have. She didn't have the tools to help her to overcome dieting and exercising, which we're going to get into right now.
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. So here's the deal. It's all about your drum roll.
Boom. It's about your metabolism. Guys, this is the key. Your metabolism determines what you weigh. If it is healthy, you're going to burn thousands and thousands of calories a day. It's easy to manage the weight. However, if it's not healthy, if it's sluggish, if something's out of balance, you no longer burn the calories. And what happens is you start storing calories as body fat. You become a sugar burner and a fat store. So if you've got too much body fat, if your BMI puts you in the wrong category, you're burning sugar and you're storing fat. So this has to be corrected. It has to be looked at, identified. We obviously have a program specific to metabolic needs because what we know is everybody's different. But we're going to dive into this because once you can master your metabolism, you'll never have a weight problem ever again.
Exactly. So like you said, when you have a slower bad metabolism, exercising is going to feel like you're pushing a boulder up a hill because of the 3,500 calories that need to be burned to lose 1 pound of body fat. So the average client that we see has about 50 pounds of body fat that they need to lose. So in order to burn that, you'd have to walk 70,000 steps to burn that 3,500 calories, okay, which is a 34-mile walk.
Right.
Okay. And if you wanted to do that in 50 weeks, you'd have to do that every single week. And you would have to not eat anything because that's more calories.
So it's basically a 7-day fast at 10,000 steps a day for 1 pound. We already talked about that earlier. Clearly your problem isn't exercise because people who don't do it, they're still thin. They just have a better metabolism than you. That is the key, focusing on metabolism. We got to stop focusing on dieting and exercise for weight loss or blaming genetics and age. You got to start asking the question. Stop asking, how do I lose weight? Start asking, how do I fix my metabolism? When you start asking the right questions, you're going to start getting the right results.
So what is it? And you guys answer this for us, okay? So if you're going to heal your metabolism, you have to ask better questions. We talked about that. A better question to ask, how do I heal my metabolism? And with that being said, if we're going to heal the metabolism, we have to go inside. We have to see what's going on inside the body, okay? A lot of you guys have been asking, what kind of metabolism test do I do? Who do I go to? Where do I get that? That's one of the things that we do. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, but when asking most of our clients, what is your metabolism organ? What's the organ system inside your body responsible for metabolism? And answer it right there in the chat. What would you say? Guess if you need to, what is your metabolism organ? So let's see those answers. What are you guys guessing is the metabolism organ?
Yep. Because if you're going to measure something and improve it, you got to know what it is. What do you think your metabolism organ is? You may be surprised. So what are the answers here?
Okay, so I got liver over here.
Okay.
I've got
thyroid.
gut. I've got gut.
Yes.
Thyroid's the most common answer.
Yeah,
by the way,
thyroid, liver, gut are usually the top answers that we're getting here.
Okay. And the reason I even brought it up is because if we're talking about thyroid, then we've got to talk about all the hormone systems, which is why we even brought up Megan, because she struggled with a hormone imbalance for a long time. And so she was trying to lose weight on an unhealthy metabolism, had imbalanced hormones, which makes it nearly impossible to lose weight, doing all the diets, all the exercise, all you name it, doing everything. She found us. She did our metabolic testing.
Yes.
She did that. And then we gave her specific recommendations on exactly what she needed to do for her body, gave her a simple step-by-step plan. And just by following that plan, she lost 60 pounds. And here's the coolest thing.
It looks remarkable. I mean, Megan still blows my mind every time I see Megan's before and after.
Yeah. And so she lost 60 pounds. Here's the coolest thing. That was 4 years ago. She's maintained that weight loss through 2 pregnancies.
Yeah. And what's interesting too, because a lot of you have even asked, I say a lot of you, I saw a few of you asking, so is this a test that I go to my doctor for? Is it something that we can do? Remember, you've already got a doctor. And if your doctor is going to test your metabolism and help you fix it, they probably would have already done it. And that was really Megan. She had a doctor. Her doctor had diagnosed her with a hormone imbalance. But here's a big mistake you make. If you don't look at your metabolic profile, insulin, glucagon, leptin, cortisol, adrenaline, ghrelin, all those hormones, I could keep going. If you don't balance the metabolic profile, you'll never balance your sex hormone profile, which is a common mistake made medically. So we're not giving out medical advice, but I'm going to tell you this. You got to start going to people that specialize in the things that you're looking for. If you went to a mechanic and asked for a haircut and they can't cut your hair, it doesn't make them a bad person. That's just not their training. We are experts in this field. We love what we do. We live it, we breathe it. Megan's a living, breathing proof example. So great job, Megan.
Right. So that's why if you just go, for example, and just get a thyroid test and they show that you have hypothyroidism or low thyroid, what are they going to give you for that?
They're going to give you drugs that you take for how long?
Forever.
By the way, the conversion of T4 to T3, the thyroid hormone to the active form, that happens in your liver.
And somebody answered liver. So great job on that.
Yeah, for sure.
And gut. So there we have, we've got thyroid, we've got hormones,
Kidneys.
we've got gut, we've got kidneys.
Yep.
We've got
Megan is amazing.
she is amazing. And we've got muscles. Somebody said muscles in there.
Yep.
Somebody said water in there and or hydration.
They're actually, they're all right.
Yeah. It's not one thing. It's everything.
Yes. It's the whole piece of, it's not one piece. It's the whole pie, guys.
Right. Because where does metabolism actually happen? Happens inside the cell.
Yeah.
So inside your cell, you have this thing called a mitochondria. So it's your mitochondria that's the engine. So here's what metabolism is. You want me to define it for everybody?
I do want you to define it. This
Okay.
is really, really good. You gotta pay attention.
Okay, so I love words. So if you dissect the word metabolism, meta means transformation. B-O-L means beginning of life. And then ism is a system. So it's a system that your body uses to transform whatever goes into it into new life.
Yep.
So that it can use it for whatever it's going to use it for.
Yes.
Okay. So in other words, if you've got, if you eat food, your body's got to break those nutrients down. So it breaks the nutrients down, heads into the cell does what it does with those nutrients in there, and it spits out whatever it needs to be able to make healthy cells, repair cells, Energy is a byproduct of that. The E, or the energy, is where we get calories from.
Yes.
So really, basal metabolic rate or metabolism is the efficiency as to how well your cells are working, just to put it plain and simple. The efficiency as to how your cells are working. Now, when we look at the organ systems in the body, what are all organs made of? Cells. What do every one of those cells have in every single one of your organs?
They got a mitochondria.
They got a mitochondria. So when we take a look at metabolism, we have to look globally or holistically when it comes to the body to really determine exactly what nutrients your cells need, your body needs, in order for your metabolism to heal. Because one of the things that I said yesterday, somebody asked me in the laser Q&A, for those of you guys who weren't in there, they asked, well, what's something that I could sweeten my coffee with? And we talked about different things like stevia. One of the things that we said was raw honey. And then somebody even commented, well, raw honey, that's going to spike somebody's insulin levels up. And was that person correct? Yeah. However,
no, that actually weren't correct, but yeah, I get the sentiment of it was yes.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, if you're eating raw honey on an unhealthy metabolism, your body's going to take what's going in because the cell's not working, and it's going to store it as fat. Yeah. If you're doing anything on
doesn't matter what you're eating,
it doesn't matter
because you don't even have the health, even metabolize food. You don't even really know what to do with it. You just become this fat storage machine. And it's not even about calories. You can even eat like 3, 4, 5, 6, 800 calories, yet you still store it as fat because your body's been conditioned metabolically because of the health of your cells.
Exactly. Yeah. Thanks, Justine. So there you go.
Yeah.
And so we have to break down how metabolism works. And what she said is nobody's ever broken down metabolism for me. You know what, for me, and having been in medical school, even nobody broke it down for me in there either. And so we had to figure this stuff out. So with that being said, it's all about healing this metabolism, doing it specifically so that you can be able to, you know what, have that metabolism that you always dreamed of. If anybody wants a faster metabolism, say yes.
Say yes. Rockstar metabolism. Yeah. And that's really, in most of your metabolism, guys, it's actually called your basal metabolic rate. So really quickly on this, you've got the foods that you eat, which has a thermic effect, increases a little bit of a metabolic input, the amount of exercise you do, but your nutrition and your exercise, going back to the myth, is only at most maybe 25, maybe 30% of your metabolism. The majority of your metabolism is the energy that your body's using and taking to keep you alive. So your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, your muscles, all of those organs. And that's why the health of those cells and understanding your disruption to those cells is key to cranking up your metabolism, because you can burn calories, thousands of calories, just sitting there like we are right now, doing absolutely nothing. How cool would that be?
Thanks for listening to the Happy Healthy Life podcast. If you enjoy the show, make sure to follow them on Instagram at the H2 Life, or on YouTube and Facebook at the Happy Healthy Guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and review the show wherever you listen to podcasts.